That's it from the bug. Don't forget the live show that is so secret it is definitely not anyone not to come to it. It's definitely not happening. Usual time and place. Bye-bye.
You're listening to The Bug.
May cause nausea, vomiting and headaches. You're listening to The Bug, the Resistance comedy show brought to you by the Buccaneer Network. I'm Andy. Joining me, as always, Alice.
I'm excited to be here. Apparently, the Resistance is not going well.
Again? Well, there has been some news about...
Oof, what a pit. This place used to be happening. Now it's just a reminder of what happened.
So what's with all the fucking security? This place should be under repair, shouldn't it? Something stinks here.
You're a quick one. Hey, what's this thing I'm looking for, Bagley?
Any kind of device or component that could still be emitting the signal. It seems to be coming from within the rubble. Signal is coming from this spider-bot fragment. No indication yet who it belongs to.
Yeah, it's been fucked up. What's it doing here?
Difficult to say, but with an AR reconstruction, we may be able to see what happened to it and if it relates to the attack. Access data relays in the vicinity, and I can compile enough data to build the AR reconstruction.
as well, mate, yeah. I know. Yeah. Yeah, it's bad, isn't it?
Not acting like myself? Of course I'm myself.
Start something. Got ya. This shotgun will sort you out, mate.
What the fuck?
This is it. The signal is coming from this Spiderbot fragment. No indication yet who it belongs to.
I'm impressed it's transmitting anything at all in this condition. Where's the rest of it?
Difficult to say, but with an AR reconstruction, we may be able to see what happened to it and if it relates to the attack. Access data relays in the vicinity, and I can compile enough data to build the AR reconstruction.
What the fuck?
This is it. The signal is coming from this. No indication yet who it belongs to.
Yeah, it's been fucked up. What's it doing here?
Difficult to say, but with an AR reconstruction, we may be able to see what happened to it and if it relates to the attack. Access data relays in the vicinity, and I can compile enough data to build the AR reconstruction.
Off you go, fam.
Perfect. 2 more data relays to go. One more data relay and I'll have it. That should do it. Now, I'll just take the audio from this stream and the video from D36 and... got it. Go back to where you found that spider bot and I'll show you the AR reconstruction from the night of the explosion.
Got it.
CTOS AR. Data reconstruction in progress.
You brought the payload?
Fuck, think we'd go back here?
Don't trust the Kelly dog.
That one twat was with Clan Kelly. Fucking gangsters did the bombings.
This is a handoff or I'm a fucking pumpkin. Kelly's are just a supplier.
Nah, there's no way this gal is with Clan Kelly. So what, does she run with Zero Day or something?
Well, don't just stand there. Keep looking.
Hey, who controlled that spider bot? Do you know, Bagley?
I've now fully decrypted the signal the Spiderbot is broadcasting. And while I cannot identify a specific user, it is a call code used by the Metropolitan Police Service.
Fuck me. The guard was watching all this.
The reconstruction continues behind that rubble.
Got some bag magic, cuz. Shrink me down quantum-like so I can slip through.
Quantum tunnel technology is at least 10 years away, but Spiderbots and drones are here today. You could try one of those if you don't feel like waiting.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Something's wrong with this spider bot. Shut it down.
Why don't you aim those human eyeballs of yours at the van's cargo?
Got it.
RDX nitrogen, and the exact same detonator system like the bombs that were planted at Parliament.
0-day signature.
There, hurry. Got all the deliveries.
So you were hired to supply all the targets?
Shut it. We're all on need to know. My days. 0-day got multiple crews to do the bombings together.
That's certainly one way to pull off a massive coordinated attack while remaining anonymous. 0-day needed manpower and resources, but they needed them at an arm's length. And it doesn't take the world's greatest AI detective to see that both Clan Kelly and Albion benefited in the aftermath. Unfortunately, this is the most we can get out of the AR reconstruction. But if we could find the mystery officer who was spying through the Spiderbot, maybe they could tell us more. Tracing the Spiderbot serial number, it was assigned to New Scotland Yard 3 years ago. Perhaps more information about its user or its assignment will be available at the station.
What, so the cops knew it wasn't DedSec this whole time and didn't say nothing? Nah, that's some peak shit right there. We had a right to know.
The only way to know for sure is to investigate New Scotland Yard.
Looks different in person.
You're listening to The Bug.
May cause nausea, vomiting, and headaches. Hello, Britain. This is The Bug, the show that holds up a mirror to the world and smashes itself on the head with it in despair. I'm Andy. Joining me, as always, Alice. And
I deny everything.
just a good state of existence. Some good news at last. There are no medicine shortages, according to the government. None at all. There have been various allegations about that. It turns out they are all fake news, trademark. There are none. There are no shortages of medicine. Don't take it from me. I'm not a medical supply expert. Take it from our beloved government. It's fine. In fact, I'm going to read between the lines here and actually say there's probably there's too much medicine, if anything. Just medicine. You can't move for medicine. In fact, just this morning, I tried to pour some cornflakes into a bowl for breakfast and out tumbled a 12-month course of immunosuppressants, corticosteroids, and anti-retrofungal neurodilatory estrogen spermatotropic fruit pastels.
The people claiming there are medical shortages are probably high on lots of medicine that they've been given. I, for one, believe that there are no medical shortages, Andy. Just last week, I went in with a broken arm and they suggested it might just be extreme period pain and prescribed me a drink of water and an astrology chart.
We can't be too far away from them just prescribing stiff upper lip like they did in the Blitz.
My uncle had a leg removed due to diabetes. They halved his insulin because they said there was less of him to be diabetic.
So, anyway, people, don't believe what you read or hear about there not being enough medical drugs to go around. It's not true. It's hospital hogwash, it's pharmaceutical flim-flam, it's medical mendacity, it's Hippocratic humbug, it's nonsensical narcotic nincompoop. I think I've made the point. Do not believe the news telling you that we've run out of medicine, nor should you believe the empty shelves at the chemists. They're also lying. Do not believe your doctor saying, sorry, we're fresh out of that, you're going to have to eat a carrot and pretend. And do not believe your own cobweb-ridden medicine cabinet at home. It might look empty, but it's not, for it contains the only medicine any of us truly need. Stirring music, please, producer Chris. Freedom. The medicine of British freedom and the analgesic knowledge that however ill you may be, Bloom are keeping an eye on things for you.
I'm investing heavily in the placebo effect right now. You're listening to The Bug.
Obviously, I don't entirely mean that, because what is the first rule of the third millennium? If someone in power tells you something is fake news, what is it? Correct. A 110% cast iron, tungsten-coated, granite-scented, cosmically immutable, scientifically unarguable fact. But surely, Alice, the more important question for all these medicine freaks whinging on about feeling a bit poorly or having a fatal but curable illness and slowly dying unnecessarily is this. Do we actually need medicine? If you today got diagnosed with a potentially fatal illness, would you not look around at the nation that we've become and think, hey, Doc, put your life-saving treatment down. I'm going to take this free one-way bus out of here. Now hold that pillow over my face until the twitching stops.
I just don't think we should think of it in such a negative way. Don't think of it as a medicine diet, Andy. Think of it as a series of healthy lifestyle swaps. Swap out anti-inflammatories for antacids. Swap out the iron lung for the aluminium lung. Swap out MRI machines for Mary machines, which is just a lady called Mary telling you you're fine.
Obviously, critical shortages are as much part of our daily lives, our society and our culture today as things like football, music and complaining about the weather used to be in the old days. And, well, food shortages, yeah, we just learn to live with them, don't we? There's a lot of positives as well with all these food shortages. I mean, we were eating too much anyway as a nation. The government's just helping us live healthier lifestyles. It's so hard to diet on your own, isn't it? You need the support of a friend or a loved one or a government or collapsing social infrastructure. Positive too, meat, very bad for the environment. So we're actually rebuilding the polar ice caps every time we eat a scrap of lettuce. Positive three. The human race had already cooked all the recipes it needed. There was nothing more to be done with food. We've done that. We can tick it off. We've done it. I was bored of food anyway. I've been eating it all my life. If you've been doing the same thing 3 times a day, 4, sometimes 7, or even 8 times a day, you're bound to get bored of it. And also, final positive, no more meal times. Frees up all that extra time for appreciating all the selfless hard work that Albion do to keep us all safe here in Britain.
Well, as you say, Andy, people are drawn to novelty, and everyone's had breakfast once. Why you got to keep having it again and again?
Boring, repetitive. There's enough of that in life as it is. You are listening to The Bug. Well, another story that has come to the fore recently is that all European imports have been banned for public health reasons. Which is great news. I mean, at least we can get ill eating good, home-produced, locally sourced, British, industrially unsafe food. That's something we can all cling to. Public health reasons, those are curious words. Alice, I don't know, is that in case the public gets too healthy eating all that Mediterranean muck? Let's have British food for British tummies. Spelt, nettles, rabbit. That's all we need. That's all we need in the glory days. Everyone round to Nigel's for dinner. Yum, yum.
Who needs Italian olives when you can eat pickled rubber bands in a soup of regret? Who needs a nice cheese when you can eat a lukewarm, unspecified rat meat pie with 0 spices?
Sand, nettles, and bits of dead fox. That's all we needed to eat in the glory days. Let's make Britain great again. That's all from The Bug today. Good night, sleep tight, and make sure the bed bugs do bite.
Your somewhat reckless teammate has got themselves thrown in the old clink, I'm afraid. Difficult to resist oppression from behind bars. It will be a while before they're available. Pro tip, however, why not recruit a barrister to the team? I mean, no one exactly likes a barrister, but they do have their function. They should be able to shorten the jail time of imprisoned operatives.
Report of my fallopian tubes, I'd have 3. Sure, I think it converts to about 120,000 British pounds with the old money.
Fuck me, Albion's taken over the station.
And the entire police service. But don't worry, if you're not pleased with your privatised goon squad, just take your business across the street.
I can't say I missed the cops, but I can't allow this Albion shit.
Not to worry, the only difference now is the uniform, assault weapons, and the fact they're motivated by profit over public service. Now, any record or information on the Spider-Bot will be further in.
Hey, we have a problem here. What the f...
Show yourself! Being shot out here!
Do you want to die? Give up! We need some help here!
Position. Someone go investigate. Acknowledge.
I'm going to have a look. Where are you hiding?
Someone better run diagnostics on this.
I'm empty! Need ammo!
This is London Calling. You're listening to Buccaneer, your pirate podcast source for what they don't want you to know. I'm Tash, and this time we're giving a special shout out from us to the boys and girls at the Signal and Intelligence Response Service, better known as SIRS. Why not? They're going to be listening anyway. They're listening to everything. They probably know that you're listening to this show right now, but don't worry. We're not going to say anything bad about a massive, unaccountable spy organization that uses its powers to stifle dissent and shut down free speech. Instead, we're going to look at how SIRS became so powerful. And as usual, we'll keep everyone's names and locations secret, so SIRS doesn't come looking for them. Charles is an expert in the dark arts of surveillance who worked to set up democratic media in post-communist states. How did it go so wrong in Britain?
You know, we're looking at all the wrong things when we look at Britain's crisis. There's a lot of concentration on data and how that's been used and manipulated. And what we haven't looked at is the power structures and the profit that lies behind this. For example, if we examine what actually happened, you know, there's a company that's really very interested in selling passports and making it easy to provide visas for investment and so on. And historically, throughout the world, they've been working with this big data manipulation company in order to overthrow governments. And then suddenly all the chickens came home to roost. Nobody could find any receipts for what was paid for. Nobody could figure out how things were done, but everybody had a feeling that something really stunk, and they couldn't figure it out. And yet it was standing there in their face the whole time. There's a couple of different ways that we got where it is that we are. I mean, one, you have a lot of smaller organizations, smaller power groups, companies as well, who are bending things just a little. Oh, we'll compromise a little bit, we'll bend the rules a little bit, and try to achieve what it is that we hope to achieve that's good for us. And if you add all of that up, what you end up with is a big wall moving in a big way from a lot of little buttons being pushed. But also there's this other thing that's going on here is the gathering of data and the analysis of data has authoritarianism contained within its DNA. It is by its nature a tool for authoritarianism, and it has been used in that way.
How does big data look into our lives? James covered it for the pre-crisis press.
We're starting to see the merger of private data and that with data held by the state into what are called social credit systems. This is where every aspect of your behaviour is monitored and totted up by a central system to sort of score you as a person, a bit like a credit card, but predicated on all of your behaviour rather than just the money you're spending. And this can have profound impact. We're starting to see systems emerge which will punish you and stop you from doing things in society based on your behaviours. And this can be as trivial as if you jaywalk, if you cross the road in the wrong place, you might lose points. If you do some community activities or help your neighbours, you might earn points. And then this can be used to sort of evaluate you as a person. And this could mean, for example, the travel privileges, being able to travel first class or being denied from travelling first class to not being allowed to travel at all. These systems are very real and very possible because of all of the data that is now held on us.
Ian was a veteran political writer and podcaster back in the days of pre-crisis Britain.
Is the world we're living in now fascist? Well, this is what fascism is. It is the complete and total control of the individual. The desire to basically say to the individual, nothing in your life matters. On an individual basis, you are now part of the whole, part of the nation, and the only meaning that you will find in your life is to become part of the nation. What is a nation? The nation doesn't mean anything, right? The nation is basically just encapsulated by the leader that takes over, that claims that he, has this sort of access to the soul of the country, to the soul of the people. He never does. It's just a myth. But that's what they go for. And on that basis, they take the right to control every aspect of your life, from who you talk to where you eat, to where you go to hang out with your friends. And what we're seeing now is a contemporary iteration of this process where you get corporations and the state operating in tandem, basically molded into one another. But that isn't that rare. I mean, you saw exactly the same thing in Nazi Germany. You look at the concentration camps that operated in Nazi Germany, there were private companies in those camps making use of that slave labor. Fascism often works with corporations, and it's doing the same now. That's the way in which they track what you do. That's the way in which they track who you talk to. They operate as each other's proxies.
So if your ears are burning and you think someone might be watching you, you're probably right. They're watching all of us. I'm Tash, and you've been listening to Buccaneer. Keep listening, keep sharing the show, and keep it encrypted. They're watching us, but we're watching them too.
Check out our last
I'm taking a look.
location.
I need cover!
Find that suspect!
Go investigate that.
Moving to investigate.
Moving in. Investigate that. Understood.
I'll flush it out. Going in for a look.
Target dropped out of sight.
Chaco down!
It's clear. I will go that way. They're around here somewhere. We will find you. Stick to procedure.
We're taking...
Damn it! Think we lost him.
The suit? I know someone's in here. Shit! Shit, we've got a body! Nothing in the vicinity. Gonna keep looking.
We lost them. Radio HQ, let them know.
There we go. I think you just made a new friend. If Albion wanted to lock them up, they must be dangerous. And dangerous we can use.
Yeah. Is this the same spider bot?
According to the serial numbers, this matches the piece of spider bot from the Tone bombing site.
Well, can you do your like magic and find the last user?
Navigate the spider bot from out of that room. I'll need a direct connection in order to learn more from our bisected friend.
On it.
I just saw them go here.
Taking cover. Just give up, will you? Engaging the suspect.
Taking cover. I'm moving in.
They went that way. Find them.
You're tough, huh?
I need cover.
They're all over me.
I'd rather not have to kill you today.
Gotta pull back.
I'm a fucking
Sierra
natural
4-2,
this.
this is Control. An alarm has been activated near you. Survey the area.
Go to check it out. Copy that.
Someone forget to turn this back on. You need to leave this area right
Let's
now.
keep our eyes peeled.
Someone's having a laugh. Let's have a look around.
I've got someone down.
Spotted clear. Moving to assist. This way. Gunfire. I'll hold back. Moving to last known position. Bollocks. How did you get to?
Doing a sweep of the premises.
Shit. I'll check in with Central.
4-2, Sierra 4-2, this is Control. An alarm has been activated near you. Survey the area. Over. All units, proceed to alarm location. Acknowledge. Over.
That opening right there looks like a good exit point. Right, get comfy. This spiderbot might be broken and missing some of its legs, but it can still jump and fit through vents. That's a good way to get through the station undetected. fuck, would you look at all this junk? You'll have to jump your way across to get to the next vent opening. You're almost there. Make your way through this last vent path.
I got it!
Scanning Spiderbot and accessing its internal drives. While I'm analysing this data, you should make yourself scarce. Unless you'd like to explain to your new, heavily armed, privatised police force why you've broken into the station.
Fine, whatever.
The Spiderbot fragment you found has a satellite-based GPS module that regularly pushed its location to a specific ground station.
This data's getting routed all over the city. So where do we go next?
Pushing you the ground station's coordinates.
Everyone's names and locations, so Sirs doesn't come looking for them. Ian was a veteran political writer and podcaster back in the days of Twitter assistant.
Is the world we're living in.
Alright, have a go then, yeah?
The complete, total control of the individual. The desire to basically say to the individual, nothing in your life matters. On an individual basis, you are now part of the whole, part of the nation. And the only meaning that you will find in your life is to become part of the nation. What is a nation? The nation doesn't mean anything, right? The nation is basically just encapsulated by the leader that takes over, that claims that he, has this sort of access to the soul of the country, to the soul of the people. He never does, it's just a myth. But that's what they go through. On that basis, they take the right to control every aspect of your life, from who you talk to where you eat, to where you go to hang out with your friends. And what we're seeing now is a contemporary iteration of this process where you get corporations and
the GPS history of the Spiderbot we recovered regularly pings these coordinates. Our mystery witness to the real bombers must have come to this lovely, damp location several times.
Good spot to do some secret shit.
Or to discreetly dump a body into the Thames.
Hope you can find me a way in, Bagley.
I'm detecting a surveillance network guarding a space under this bridge. If you can patch into it, perhaps you can take a look inside.
hostile in your area. Over.
Received. Responding to the situation now.
Ambulance urgently required at our location. Over.
Negative. No sign of suspect. Over.
My days, you seeing this? It's like a secret cop bunker.
Well, if Albion was stopping all over your workplace, you'd find a different place to store your lunch too. And it seems our mystery officer was dedicated.
What I want to know is how they ended up at Tone.
The computer's dusty enough to kill an asthmatic, but there may still be something useful on it.
This is Inspector Caitlin Lau. Well, former Inspector now. Since Albion's coup, the Met is no more. The police brass had already buried the evidence anyway. Everything implicating Albion and Clan Kelly in the bombings. But I know Mary Kelly's band of twats were involved, and they're involved in other crimes we can look into. Me and a few good mates are willing to go off book, going after Mary Kelly again. I'll never fucking learn, will I?